Welcome home, where we provide information, inspiration, and motivator after motivator after motivator here on America's Next. I have Timothy Fletcher here with me today. How you doing, Timothy?
I'm doing pretty good. And yourself?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. Happy to have you here tonight. And for everybody who's tuned in, I appreciate you tuning in here with us, whether you be on Roku TV, Apple TV, Android TV, Facebook, YouTube, Amazon Fire. I appreciate you. Thanks for tuning in tonight. I just want to let you guys know that this journey with us here on America's Next Motivator is it's a one day at a time type of thing. We learn new things on a daily basis, and we improve as we go. So I encourage you all to stick with us through these periods of growth and join our community, join our live chat, drop emojis in the chat, make comments, ask questions because our guests are really truly here to add value. And without further ado, Timothy, where are you from?
I'm from Baltimore, Maryland.
Oh yeah, where at?
Yeah. Over west by Emerson Village.
Okay, what's it like there for you growing up?
Woo. Uh, Being in Baltimore growing up, it's pretty rough because there's a lot of drugs, a lot of violence, and a lot of game banging. It was kind of difficult not to dip into peer pressure and to get involved into them things. But I'm just grateful that I had my parents that really stuck by my side and made sure I was doing the right thing.
Yeah, yeah. I think that is very fortunate that you had your parents in your life like that, and I'm sure we could all learn a lot from your parents and what they did to actually help you move in a positive direction in life. Baltimore is one of those areas where they've become infamous for just the danger, the poverty, the missed opportunities for success, missed opportunities for safety.
Yep.
And a lot of people are familiar with tough times growing up there in Boston. So can you talk to me about like what were some of the things that your parents instilled in you? What were some of the conversations like that influenced you to move in a positive direction?
One of the main things, the number one thing my mother always told me was keep God first and learn to love than to hate. Because when you
Wow.
learn to love is love is a powerful thing, and learning to love people helps other people grow and helps them learn to love too, and always treat people the way you want to be treated. So if I don't like being treated wrong, I don't like being cheated out of things and mistreated and different things like that, I know for a fact that the next person wouldn't like that either. So that instilled in me too also, because then I learned that if things was done wrong to me, not to just relate it to somebody else, but just show them the opposite so that they could learn what's the right thing from the wrong thing.
That's right. That's right. Did you have a lot of friends when you were young? Like let's say 5 or 6 years old. Did you play outside?
So 5 or 6 years old, yeah, pretty much a little bit, but my parents was like kind of strict on you can't leave the porch. So I used to play on the porch all the time, and like some people that kind of knew me around the neighborhood because they knew my older brothers, they would bring their little brothers around and be like, "Hey, why don't you sit on the porch and play with him?" And I was the kid basically that had like every toy. So I had about I say about like 3, 4 friends that would stop by every day and be like, "Hey, let's play some toys and things like that." And pretty much, but I didn't really start gaining friends till I got a little bit older and was actually able to move from off my porch and out my neighborhood.
Right. You know, I think we forget about the porch. You know
Yeah.
how the porch is like it's your first social space. You know, the porch is the first place where you get to have friends over. You get to kind of have your first freedom.
Facts.
A lot of time your parents they go back in the house. They let you play on the porch and stuff like that. You spend years on that porch thinking about the world that you're looking at. You spend years on that porch, looking at the sky, looking out into the community, and
Right.
just imagining what you would do when you get the opportunity to really get off that porch.
Yes,
What
sir.
was what was elementary school like for you?
Elementary school. Um, that's where I first learned about music. I actually learned how to play clarinet before anything in elementary school. But elementary school was kind of difficult for me because I was always like the little small nerdy kid that everybody was
Mhm.
like, "Hey, I'm gonna just mess with him for no reason, just because
Right.
he's nerdy looking and he's smaller than me." So elementary school, I got bullied a lot. But that's when I first fell in love with music because I played the clarinet. I started playing clarinet in third grade. I can still play clarinet to this day. Like I know my skills and how to play by ear. I was actually learning a song yesterday to play by ear to present on my social media. So y'all will see a video of me playing clarinet soon on my page. But that's how I learned how to play clarinet, and that's why I mean some of my friends that I still have friends today.
Wow. Now, what did they ask you to play other instruments like the saxophone, other instruments connected to the clarinet as well? Did you ever play those?
Yeah, so when I got into middle school, that's when I first started playing drum set. And that was my first touch on the drums. And after that, I started playing in my church. But one time I took sick and I got like real sick. I ain't come to school for about like I said about a week or two. And the band that I was part of, they was real strict on, make sure you come to practice, make sure you being available. And when you're the only drummer that's playing in a jazz band, you like one of the most valuable players because you can have 5, 6 saxophones and one doesn't show up. Okay, you still got 5 left. Or you can have 3 trumpets, one doesn't show up, you still got 2 trumpets, but you only have 1 jazz drummer. So it's just like if he's not here, there's nobody there to keep the beat. So they end up switching me off of drums because I took sick and put me on saxophone. I was hurt, like I even cried about it. But I eventually got over it because I ended up falling in love with the saxophone. So I know how to play saxophone as well too.
Were there members of your family who also played music? Are there other musicians in your family?
Yeah, so my oldest sister, she played clarinet. My mother is actually a vocalist, so she know how to sing real good. My older brother played trombone. My other sister, she played. I think she the only one that didn't play anything. Then I have another brother. I have 4 brothers, 2 sisters. Then I have another brother that played trumpet, and he was trying to learn electric guitar, but it was just difficult because I was trying to learn it too. And
Right.
then my little brother played drums, and my oldest brother played drums too.
Okay. What was church like? What was church like? Talk to me about church. The drums. Who played the drums at church, and what was that influence like for you?
So I played when I got into I say about like 7th grade. I started playing drums at my church at the church I was home at the time was Grace Bible Baptist Church, and I started playing drums there. I liked it a lot. It was just the church. It was more like slower songs than how other churches would be, like the churches I was normally going to before I started going there. So I liked it a lot. Don't get me wrong, I liked it. I loved it. I love playing for the Lord. It was a lot of fun, and the most fun about it was when we had summer camps because of the summer camp songs and me playing drums and everything. But it was a lot that I learned. It actually taught me how to play better along with beats because every time I play on something on drums, I like playing the stuff that's like real fast because that's how I get active. That's how I get pumped. So when it comes to slow songs and slow music, it's more control, it's more listening to the music and trying to complement it rather than playing over top of it or playing fast. So it taught me what's a good word? It taught me how to be stable on the drums, or it taught me how to actually listen to the music instead of just listening to myself.
Right. Now, in the third grade, when you really started to play the drums, did you begin to see music as like a hobby or an escape from academics, or did you love both equally?
So I didn't start playing drums till 6. I
Oh,
started
okay.
playing that in the third. But yeah, at that time because I also knew how to sing when I was younger, so I was singing way before I was even on clarinet. But and like church choirs and things with my mother. But I always looked at music as like an escape. Because even when I listen to music, it's just like I step into another portal. I step into another world. And in my head, I can like imagine, like I can see vivid images and pictures in my head when I listen to music. That's why at the same time, I be real careful about what I listen to. Because if I go to sleep listening to it, I dream of like a vivid dream where I can actually interact with the music that's being said through my ears. So it can get kind of like creepy and weird sometimes. But I just feel like music played a complete huge role in my life because it got me through my tough times. It got me through my joyful times. It got me through anything in life. When I ain't had like things going wrong, when I had a lot of things going wrong and I needed to escape, the only thing I could talk to was music. To me, that's what it felt like. It was music. Like it was something I couldn't talk to my parents about, something I couldn't talk to my relatives. But if I was like, okay, maybe I should listen to a song, and then people would tell their stories or telling their songs, like things could always be worse than what they are, or they describing their story and basically their story is something that they had to go through that was 10 times harder than what you was going through. And now you see them now, they big and popping, they doing good for themselves, things like that. So it helped motivate me to actually like want to listen to music more, and it helped me get through just so much that I was going through in my life.
The power of imagination. You said that you could listen to music and the music stimulates images in your mind. Talk to me about that experience. What has that experience been like for you, and how early in your life did you notice that happening?
Um, I say the experience. I like the experience, honestly. Like I used to fall asleep listening to music all the time. I don't do it no more because I live by myself, and I just want to be aware of the things that surround me just in case. But
Mhm.
when I was younger, I say it first started when I was about like 14 years old. I used to sometimes, kids they be curious and do things that they're not supposed to do. So I would get sent to bed early. Like my mother would be like, "Well, you're punished. Go to bed." And I would want to stay up and play the game with my brothers and things like that, but I couldn't. So what I would do was I would take my Nintendo DSi and I would go on YouTube on it. I would put in my headphones and hide the Nintendo under my pillow whenever my mother came into my room, and I would listen to music, and sometimes I would fall asleep. And when I would fall asleep with the headphones in my ear, before my mother would come in and rip them out, when I would fall asleep with the headphones in my ear, it's like whatever the rapper or whatever the singer is talking about, I just dream it vividly. Like, let's just say, like if they was talking about it was a hardcore rap song, they talking about selling drugs, slinging dope, killing somebody, things like that. All that stuff would imagine and fill through my head, and I would have a dream about that. Like I'll have a dream where I'm with these drug dealers and they swinging crack and slinging coke and all this other stuff. And the next thing you know, something happens and they giving me a gun and they like, come on, we gotta go kill this person, things like
Mhm.
that. And it feels so real because you sitting there like, what in the world? Then you're listening to a song about love. And
Mhm.
I would just imagine like, oh, I can't really see the girl face because the girl face will be blurred out or something. But we'll be like on a beach holding hands, and like the music will be playing in the background. So it all depends on what I was really listening to.
You know, the power of music, the influence of music on our minds is the reason why people say be careful what you listen to.
Yes.
You seem to be fairly gifted though, in that you just have vivid dreams based on what you're listening to or
Right.
what you go to sleep listening to, and it goes directly into your dreams. You know, it's a very important connection to make between the music that we listen to, the things that we hear, and the images that are sparked in our imagination.
Right.
There are other things that we could listen to that could have more of a positive impact on the images of our minds, but I don't know if we ever connect the images that are happening in our minds and the music that we're listening to. My grandmother used to have a saying. She used to say, first you think about it and then you do it, meaning if something is going through your mind, the next thing quite naturally is that you're going to do that thing.
Right.
And
Right.
so the music that we listen to, anything that we listen to, has a big influence
Right.
on our actions. Now, given this parallel that we're making right now, how do you feel about, you know, the current state of music today based on what we hear on mainstream radio?
Honestly, I feel like it could be a lot better because as time go on, it's like music is becoming more vivid of promoting the wrong things like pornography, drugs, praise and money, and just hurting people. And you got to be this way, you can't be that way. But then you do have some songs where they're talking about, police brutality, or they talking about positive things like fighting against it and racism and stuff like
Mhm.
that. So it's opening a lot of people's eyes and minds to what's going on around the world. But it really depends on the artist you listen to, and who you that's pretty much it, who you really listen to and what are you listening to, because
Yeah,
once it sparks in your mind like something, then you start thinking about it, and then sooner or later it becomes an action. So
right.
it's real. It has to be real. It has to be. You have to really watch what you are. I mean, you have to really, watch what you are listening to, because it's like planting a seed, and once
Mhm.
that seed grows and blossom, it helps become the next person. Well, not the next person, but the person you are.
Mhm. From an energy standpoint, our soul provides an energetic response
Right.
based on what we give it, you know. And all's not lost on music. I will be honest. I am a little bit disappointed when I look at the mainstream and the amount of violence and perpetual, drug use that I hear. That doesn't mean that the songs that I hear are bad. There's a lot of music that I like. This is part of my culture. I
Right.
love so much of the music, but I also find it unfortunate that given the power of music, so much of it, is generating potentially negative images, bad images in my mind. But at the
Right.
same time, if you know, you know, because there are phenomenal artists out there whose music is pure, who use live instrumentation like the drums, like the clarinet or the saxophone, and they're still speaking my language. They're still, talking about a message that I care about, a message that I find relevant, a message that I find to be popping,
Right.
but it's not as much, of the violence and drugs. And so music is a big world. And I want people to take from this conversation that if if you seek it, there is more music out there to be found by you. Just beautiful music. Who are some of your musical influences?
My musical influence, of course, Michael Jackson. I love Michael Jackson. I love the way he danced, his swag, the way he carried himself, his music, everything. The man was really like he was really that guy, like Michael Jackson. Yeah, I love Michael Jackson. I like Michael Jackson, Kendrick Lamar. I like that. The thing I like about Kendrick Lamar is basically he doesn't rush to put out music, and all his music is like a puzzle. It's like you have to decipher what he's like. What I do is when a Kendrick Lamar drops something, I listen to the song about 3 times, and then I go on Google and type in like some of the lyrics that I don't understand because like you gotta decipher his music. And once you
Mhm.
start breaking it down, you be like, whoa, that wordplay on that was crazy, or this metaphor was this or this, whatever. It's just be going nuts. But Kendrick Lamar, that's one of them. I like Chris Brown. Chris Brown, the way he sang, dance, raps. I don't really like his attitude, his personality. Either it's kind of iffy, but the guy do make great music though. And Roddy Ricch is my newest favorite artist. I feel like he has a lot of potential, and he's going to grow into like well, he's already a household name, but he's going to grow into something that's very big. I can see that coming.
Yeah, I agree with you because Roddy Rich, he has some sort of classical training. He knows how to play instruments. He understands musical scales, and he incorporates a lot of melody into his music naturally, without necessarily trying to imitate others.
Yep,
You know, so yeah, I agree with what you're saying in terms of different artists. I think Chris Brown is the best dancer of our generation, though. What do you think about that?
I agree. I totally agree. I totally agree.
He's the best. He's the best dancer. I don't think there's a better dancer than Chris Brown out there. You know. And while we're on the subject of just random artists, I also want to point out that you have to really go on a search for information in order to find out the power of music, in order to discover the power of music, what it does, the healing properties of music, and how um, it does so many positive things in your life. Like music is something that could take you all around the world. Music is something that could take you around the universe. To say music is a universal language,
Right,
But for me, a young kid growing up in Cleveland, Ohio, before I moved to other places, music was just rap, R&B, and soul music. Maybe some gospel music here and there.
right.
But music is even bigger than that. It's even bigger than that. What do you think about that?
I totally agree. I started realizing how powerful music was when I would listen to songs in different languages. And one thing that would catch me is I would listen to a song in different languages, not know what in the world a person is saying or anything, but still be vibing like, ooh, this is good. Like, I don't know what he's saying, but this is good. And I look up the lyrics and be like, yo, he's just talking about making a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Right. Yeah.
And I'm just saying like like what in the world? But the song be like I'm just like the music, it just makes it different. The 808s on it, the lyrics, the beats, everything. Just I don't know, something about music is just too powerful. Like it's just another, it's like another way of conversating. Like, okay, cool. If I met somebody and they spoke Japanese and I spoke English, I know they will know what skills are in music. So we
Mhm.
could still sync our skills together at the end of
Mhm.
the day. And even though we don't understand each other, we both know at the same time we're putting out music. We're producing music through our vocals. So music is just, it's powerful. It's universal. I don't know not one person that doesn't have a favorite song. Everybody in the world must have a favorite song. Even if you don't listen to music or you don't enjoy listening to music, it gotta be one song that you can be like, okay, I can actually vibe to this a little bit.
Right. That's
So
right.
music is very, very universal and very powerful.
What was high school like for you? Just in general. I was even outside of music. What was high school like for Timothy Fletcher?
So high school, whoo. My ninth grade year was terrible. I got bullied real bad my ninth grade year. Same problem, still skinny and small and things like that. But then when 10th grade came, I started running track and I started getting into sports more. And my body, I guess that's when puberty started officially hitting, and I started getting a little bit bigger. And I was like, at that time, I was like real toned out because I was always in the weight room. So when
Mm.
people used to bully me, they end up, all the people that was bullying me end up stopping me, and they end up trying to either become cool with me or was scared to talk to me because they thought I was going to spaz out because I was one of the fastest kids at my school. And I say by the 10th grade I was drum captain and I was running track and I was doing the varsity relay races. So it was like I was at the top of my game at that time for real. So it was like I wasn't like listening to nobody, nothing like that. But high school was pretty it was pretty cool. I made a lot of friends. I lost a lot of good friends because in Baltimore City is real violent, like I said. But I liked high school. It's just I didn't like my ninth grade yet. That's it. But
Yeah.
other than that, I liked high school. My 12th grade yet was kind of too, but it is what it is.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. You strike me as a star child, a prodigy,
Thank you.
an indigo child. Somebody whose entire life was set up the way it was for a reason.
Right.
You know,
Thank you.
there's a reason why you weren't the biggest person in the room. There's a reason why you yourself weren't a bully. You could, in an alternate world, you could have become the bully after you had it, after you were fed up after the first grade. You could have been a bully from then on out. you know. But it sounds like your life was predestined. It was set up the way it was set up for a reason. Those years of kind of like being the underdog, the talented underdog, if you will, they must have taught you a lot those years. It must have built a lot of character
Yes,
in
it
you.
sure did.
Yeah.
Yes. Basically, I mean, like being bullied helped me. It helped with the whole treat a person the way you want to be treated. I know when I was being bullied and stuff like that, I used to be real depressed. And since I was real depressed, it taught me like, I wouldn't want nobody else to feel the same feeling I was feeling. If
Mhm.
I was depressed and I was hurt and I was down, I know for a simple fact I wouldn't want nobody else to feel like that.
Yeah.
So being depressed and then also having I was always sick a lot too because I have type 1 diabetes. So not only does diabetes like works on like your kidneys and things like that, but it works on your immune system. So you're more prone to picking up other diseases and other illnesses and stuff like that. Same as well with sickle cell. But so being sick and then going to school and being bullied, it was hard, but it did build a lot of character because it taught me to actually love who I am. I was always that kid. Basically, I was like, man, if they doing that, that doesn't mean I have to do it. And they was
Hmm.
like, well, you not cool. You don't smoke this cigarette or this blunt. You not cool. You don't drink this. You not cool and stuff like that. And I'd be the kid that'd be like, no, I'm good. I'm gonna go do what I want to do. I want to do. I just want to go home, play drums or play the game or something. And since
Right.
I wasn't doing what they were doing for real, it was like that's why I was bullied so much. Oh, you not gonna watch this or you not gonna smoke this with us? No, I'm fine. Okay, you a nerd. You uncool. You can't hang with us no more. And that built character for me because it taught me to like be happy with who you are. If you're not doing this, you're not doing that. Don't go chasing them to accept you. Just be who you
Right.
are. And whoever accepts you is whoever accepts you.
A lot of people who are in a position of bully or hyper aggressive, especially at a young age, those are people who kind of jump the gun
Right.
a lot of the time because the adults in their lives were not doing the best job that they possibly could have been doing, and so a lot of those kids they're pretty much trying to act grown.
Right.
But there is so much value in not jumping the gun, uh, being the age that you are, settling into the moment, and just absorbing your surroundings, learning, listening to yourself, paying attention to your imagination. You know,
Right.
taking the high road where you could have taken the low road and met somebody where they was at and messed your life up. All of those years of humility, they make you the strong friend in the room as an adult. All those years of humility, they make you the reliable character in the room as an adult. And so what do you say to the young people out there clear across America who they're being bullied? They are in those years of humility right now. They're not allowed off the porch. They're not allowed off the porch. We got 400,000 youth in the foster care system. Several thousand of them are living a similar life to the one that you've lived in terms of how you're treated. What do you say to them tonight?
Um, don't give up. You know, at the end of the day, it just continue being a good person. It builds character. It's gonna help with a story for you to tell to help others, and just keep showing love. And don't forget that there's love out there for you too. But don't give up, and just always remember, do the right thing and be yourself, because there's only one you. Even if you don't find that significance inside yourself, I'm telling you right now, there's a significance about you. At least you can find one thing. Find one thing at least every month that you love about yourself, and focus on that one thing every month. That one brand new thing that you love about yourself, and just put all the things that you hate about yourself to the side. Because
Mhm.
like I said, it's only one you. You're unique, you're different, you're special in your own way, and you're a beautiful and loving person, and you deserve to be loved also. So just don't give up, and just hold on to the ride. It's going to be all worth it in the end.
All worth it in the end. Ladies and gentlemen, we're talking to Timothy Fletcher, the great. And you're going to see more of what he does after we come back from the break. What I don't want you guys to do is go anywhere. We'll be right back after this brief message. America's Next Motivator, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern. America's Next Motivator, hosted by me, Cedric Riley, and sponsored by the Pride Empowerment Network. And we're back. Timothy, how you feeling out there?
I'm feeling pretty good. How about you?
I'm feeling great. Now let's talk more about what you were thinking about life as you graduated from high school. What were your thoughts about your future? What was your intention?
So, honestly, I always wanted to play drums and make money from it, or travel the world just doing music, whether it was just drums or clarinet. I really wanted to be drums. And when I graduated high school, I was kind of like lost a little bit, because I wanted to go to college. So I went to college, but then I also wanted to go to college. I really wanted to go to college, but at the same time, I felt like I was forced to go to college, because my parents and everybody, not even just my parents, but my teachers and all of them was telling me, yeah, you got to go to college or you won't be nothing in life. So it was just like, yeah, I wanted to go, but it felt more forced to go. But I was in college, and I ended up getting a job at Walmart. And not only that, I was also with a community band too. So I was just booked up and I was just everywhere, just trying to figure out where my spot was in life and how can I fit myself in and things like that. But before I had my job, I was going back to my old high school and helping them how to play like drum and things like that. Then when I got my job, ended up working there, and that's when I did my very first video. It was actually in my Walmart uniform overnight. It was on a lunch break. We used to have 30 minutes lunch breaks. I would go off to myself, by myself, in the I say in the one of the sections for real, and just pull up my phone. I started recording myself, and before I even made a YouTube channel, I just threw it up on YouTube, and it's just like, oh well. I don't know what the video is called. I can't find it. It's a terrible old video,
Right.
but yeah, that's pretty much.
The first time you picked up the sticks and really started playing the drums, were you like just good already?
No. Mm-mm.
How many
So
hours? How many hours? How many hours would you say you've put into practicing the drums?
oh man, I say almost like all day. Like I have to say, let me see, 14. It's about 10. I say about like about like 14, 15, or 16 hours. Cause I would take my drum pad with me everywhere. And even if I couldn't play with both of my hands, I would go around the house like this. Watching TV. Just building up hand speed so I could do a whole bunch of different things. So I would just practice all throughout the day. There's been times where all this right here would be nothing but filled with blisters or blood just draining out my hand.
Wow.
From holding my sticks for so long and not letting them go.
Right.
So
this is passion right here. This is passion, dedication, and commitment to a craft that I find inspirational. And so when you want to get good at something, you take that thing with you everywhere you go.
Yes,
you got
sir.
your drum pad with you right now.
Yep.
you think you can play something for us?
Of course.
What you gonna play for us?
I'm a freestyle.
Okay, all right, freestyle. Everybody, hold up. Before we get started, everybody, let's get these reactions in the building. These emojis, drop these emojis. I want you guys to drop comments, show some support, and help us to make him feel home here on America's Next Motivator. Let's go, Timothy. Nice. You remind me of the main character of Drumline when I watch him play. Yeah. Did you watch Drumline the movie?
Yeah, that's one of my favorite movies.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you, how did you feel watching that movie, especially toward the end when they were doing the Battle of the Bands? How were you feeling? Were you crying? You could say it. You were crying.
No, I wasn't crying. I felt like honestly I could relate to him so much because I was kind of going through the same thing that he was going through, and I was only in high school. My main problem was I couldn't, but we ain't really read music. I could read music without a problem. That's not a problem for me. Cause like I said, I come from playing different instruments. It was just mainly like gaining the respect from my peers in the drum line. Like when I first played drums, I was terrible. Couldn't keep a solid beat, couldn't stay on beat. I had 2 left feet, so I couldn't do all the dance moves they was doing and things like that. And I really practiced hard. My whole 9th grade year in my band, I did not let me touch drums because I was so good at clarinet. It's crazy because when I was in the 6th grade, I was actually, because my high school that I went to was up the street from my house. So I would actually, after leaving band practice with my middle school, I would go to the high school and teach the high schoolers how to play clarinet. And I was only in the 6th grade. And I used to do that after school. Like I say, like every Friday after school, I would go up there and I would sit with the 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, these people that's way older than me, teaching them how to play clarinet. And they sat there and listen, they respect me and everything. But when I got to high school, they made sure I did not touch drums. My band director did not want to lose me as clarinet player to some drums. Then 10th grade year came. I was playing drums, and I remember the drummers was starting to become jealous because I had practiced my whole ninth grade summer going into 10th. I just kept practicing, looking up different things, looking up how to play different rhythms. So when I came up there, I knew the rules were, they didn't really tell the sophomores and the freshmen the rules of, if you battle a upperclassman, you have the chance of taking that spot. But I was already hip to it. So what I did was I brought it to my band director, like, hey, I wanna battle these guys. I don't care if they're in the 12th grade, I don't care if they're juniors or nothing. And I was battling them, and everyone that I was battling, I was tearing them apart, beating them because I had got so nice.
Hold on. Was this before you saw Drumline or after you saw Drumline?
After the
So
battling was after.
so after you saw Drumline, that it inspired you to say, I'm getting ready to fight for what I want on this Drumline.
Yes, indeed.
Wow. We have a question from Yolanda Riley. She's in the building. She says, "What made you start doing the tricks?"
So the tricks, it came from a group called BYOS. Bring Your Own Sticks, Bring Your Own Style is made by Ralph Nader and Harvey Harv. They do a lot of tricks while they playing, and basically, but they got a lot of chops with it too. But basically, they have stick trick tutorials. So if you have anybody that's trying to learn how to play drums or any kids, that's a good YouTube website to look up. BYOS. That's where I learned most of my tricks from, watching them, and that's who I was actually inspired to make videos, was by them, because they was doing videos, and I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. Now, I if they can do it, I can do it too. So
Right.
that's
That's
why I
right.
got it all
That's
from.
right. My younger sister is into the drums right now. Her name is Alexis, and so I wonder if she'll see this interview and begin to look up "Bring Your Own Sticks" and be inspired the same way that you were inspired. Now, where can people find a drum pad, the one like the one that you're walking around with?
So this one or the one that I usually play on?
Well, let's talk about both of them, but that one first.
Okay, so this one right here, this is a just a regular snare pad. You can go to Guitar Center, or you can go to Bill's Music and pick up one. It has a soft side, as y'all can see I was playing on, and it also has a more solid and loud side.
Okay.
And then the one I actually play on, a lot of people think it's a drum pad, but it's really a drum. So basically, that one, when you hit it, it sounds like a snare, it plays like a snare, it does everything a snare, snare rims, everything. What I did was there's a drum. You take a drum and you just take the head and the top and bottom rim off, and you take it off the barrel. The barrel is what keeps the whole drum together. And you take the cages off also, and you just tighten the top and the bottom rim with the head, and that's how you make your portable snare.
Nice, nice. So when you started making these videos and people started to notice that you were phenomenally talented, what happened? Were you just chilling one day and then you noticed that somebody was reposting you? What was that moment like?
Um, well, at first it was hard because a lot of people wasn't vibing with it at first. A lot of people thought it was nerdy, it was kind of whack, it was this, that, and the third. And I always thought of giving it. I'm like, man, it's not something I can really make money for. It's not something I can really do. But me and my former partners, I was part of a group called A1 Chops at the time. We started going down the harbor, and when we went down the harbor, people was reposting us on their stories, asking us for our Instagram, showing a lot of love, and that's where I first found the love from, of people liking it and stuff like that. Because the first time we actually ever performed, we actually got booed off the stage, and they clapped us coming. They clapped for us going off the stage because they was just tired of saying that.
Wow.
So that kind of put me in a spot where I was like, man, I don't want to do this no more. I don't think this is for me. But like I said, when I first got shot, the first person that ever shot at me, I still remember to this day, was the guy. His name on Instagram is Nickname Paddywhack. I believe it's Nickname Paddywhack. And basically at that time, he's the guy that I don't know if you know who Dan Rue is. That's the guy, Dan, the man that be doing the Lord dancing. Like Dan is the man with the plan when I get you. But he's the heavy set guy. He's his friend.
Mhm.
And they had made a remix and I played to it. I was just playing to it and somebody just recorded it and was like, hey, you want this video I recorded of you? I was like, sure. And I put it on Instagram and it just blew up. And he ended up reposting. At that time, he had like 500K. He got like probably like 2-3 million now. He had like 500K and he ended up reposting it. And then that put me from having 5,000 followers to having about 13,000 followers. So when I seen that 13K, I was like, whoa, I have a K next to my name now.
Right,
So
right.
that just made me want to go harder. And that was the first time I ever got shot. And that's when I kind of started believing, like, maybe I probably can really do this.
Hmm. You know, a lot of people when they got booed off the stage the way that you got booed off the stage, a lot of people would have never continued to believe in themselves after that.
Right, right.
But you were able to keep your head on straight and to keep moving forward. You know, what tips or advice could you give to people who are getting into the drum game? They're trying to figure out a lane, a niche. They want to figure out how to make a living doing it. What tips do you have for them?
So the tips I have for them basically, I would say is stay to it, stay focused, practice every day. And time you get, just continue to practice. Never give up. Never give up at all. And I also say, what's another one? Only compete with yourself. I always tell myself that, and that's what I go by. I don't compete with nobody. I only compete with the person I was yesterday. And what I mean by that is somebody could be out here trying to be better than me in something. Or I could be out here trying to be better than somebody. But it's always gonna be something that they're better than me at. So instead of competing with them, I just compete with myself to be a better person than who I was yesterday. So that every
Mhm.
day I'm increasing, I'm growing, I'm upgrading, but I'm not upgrading to other people's standards, but to my own understanding.
That's right. That's right. Now, talk to us about some of the places you've been featured. Where has your decision to continue to play the drums landed you? Where are some of the places you've been featured?
So I've been on the Ellen Show 3 times.
Whoa.
I played at the BET Awards, the BET Awards with Lil Baby. I've been on Nickelodeon. I was on NBA TNT with Shaquille O'Neal, Dwayne Wade, and I forgot his name. I'm so sorry, I forgot his name. And I also been on commercials with Smile Direct. I played for Jerry Seinfeld's son's bar mitzvah. Played for the NFL Ravens football games. I played for the Washington Wizards basketball games. And I played alongside with Young Dolph. Also, I am the That's Major Challenge from Young Dolph challenge winner. And I think that's pretty much it. It's probably more, but I can't really think of it.
Wow. Hold on. What was that like competing in the major challenge with Young Dolph? What was that like and the outcome of you being the winner? Talk to us about that experience.
So competing in that, it's crazy because I kind of knew I already had it in the bag the first time because he did do it twice. The first time I uploaded my video and he messaged me and was like, "Yo, you won, you won." And the reason I knew I was going to win is because my video just went viral everywhere. Like it was just everywhere, everywhere. And one thing I can say is like I was looking at everybody's views, and my views was the highest for the longest. So I'm like, okay, most likely I won. So the first time I won, he was like, "Yo, you won. Congratulations. What car do you want wrapped?" Now the prize was that you get a camouflage Hellcat, not that you get your car wrapped. At that time, I didn't have a car, so I'm like, "Oh man, okay, I'll just get my brother car wrapped." I told him that. He was like, "All right." He said, "I'm gonna hit you in an hour. Hit me back." I said, "Okay, cool." Never hit me. I hit him. Never hit me back. I'm like, wow. Say 5, 6 months later, he uploaded again. The Dash Major Challenge. We haven't chose a winner yet. Y'all hop back in. So I'm like, what? So I'm like, should I make a whole new video or should I just upload the same video? So I'm like, no, I'm gonna upload the same video. Upload the same video, got everybody to tag me again. And then he calls me, he messaged me like, bro, what's your number? I give it to him. And I'm just sitting there, he never called me enough. 2 hours later, I get a random phone call. So I'm like, okay. I answer the FaceTime and he like, bro, I hate to tell you, but you won. And I'm just like, I won. He like, yeah, so we going crazy and everything. I'm like, whoa, I won this, that, and that. He was like, so you can choose out of 2 prizes. You give it choose out as camouflage Hellcat, or you can choose out of 30 racks. Don't tell me now. Tell me when you get to LA. I mean, when you get to Atlanta. So he flies me out to Atlanta, first class and everything. I'm all day. His cameraman, he's vlogging the trip and everything. We talking about it and stuff like that. We pull up and he asked me which one I won. Now the twist on it was people were saying that camouflage Hellcat was worth more than $30,000, which is absolutely true. I could have took the car, sold it for probably like 150K, and then probably even more because it was Dolph car. And if the person was a young Dolph fan, I know they would have been willing to pay more than that for real. But the thing was, I didn't have my license at the time, and he wanted me to drive the car from Atlanta back to Baltimore. And I'm like, that's hard to do. And then Baltimore being the type of city I'm in, I know I was gonna want to drive around with the car. And that car, I know nobody in Baltimore City doesn't have that car. And then Baltimore City is very violent. It doesn't take much for somebody to just be like, okay, I know he's gonna be here at this time and do that. And I know what car he's gonna be in because I know what the car looked like and try to set me up and stuff like that. So I ain't have time for that. So I just ended up taking the money. I just ended up taking the money. I didn't want to risk getting pulled over on my way back from Atlanta, and they just taking everything, and it's just a lose-lose situation. And I didn't really care that the car worth more because either way, I was still blessed with $30,000.
Right. Wow. Now, when your skill paid off like that, I mean, that did that make you feel like, I'm on top of the world. I can really do things with this. Is that how you felt?
I did, but it made me want to go 10 times harder. I'm like, if I can get, I was always told this: if you can get it once, or you can touch it, or you can taste it, or you can feel it, it can happen a million more times as long as you put that work in. So I didn't really feel like I felt like I was on top of the world when I had the money. And then when I lost it, I was like, not lost it, but when I spent it, like I gave it mostly to my family and things like that to help them with their bills and stuff. And I brought a little bit of stuff for myself and I took care of some bills and things like that. But when all of it was gone, it hit me. And that played into my head. Yo, Tim, if you can get it once, you can get it again. You just had to put in that work. So it actually motivated me to just push 10 times harder. Like, boom, I got to get it on my own this time now. So having that just made me feel like I was on top of the world, but it made me a lot better too. It made me like more motivated.
You are currently featured heavily on social media sites right now, meaning people are scrolling through Instagram right now and they're watching videos of you, whether it be on the Shade Room or there's another page, the Black Man Can. You are a symbol of the ability of the young black man, especially the young black man in America today.
Thank
Do
you.
you feel any sort of um, responsibility to continue to perform the way that you're doing? And do you feel that you're becoming a public figure?
Um, to all your questions, yes, I do feel like I'm responsible and I do feel like I'm becoming a public figure, but I'm it's not a bad thing. I wouldn't take it as a bad thing either. I take it as a good thing because I think like the world need more role models, people that's gonna stand up and do the right thing or say things to the right thing. And even though like I do upload a lot of drum videos and I barely talk on Instagram and things like that, when I do get on there and talk, I try to make sure I say things or I try to upload things where kids can actually learn something positive from it. So becoming a public figure and like doing these interviews and vlogging and different things like that, is I feel like it's a good thing because it's giving kids another outlet to, okay, what if they don't want to be a rapper? What if they don't want to be a ball player? What if they don't want to be a teacher or something like that? Now they have a different outlet than just, okay, I want to be a drug dealer. That's the only thing that's available for me. No, you can be a drummer just like I am, or you can be anything that you want to be. It doesn't always have to salute to the negative things. It always have to drop down to the negative things and be like, okay, I gotta do this to get this, or I gotta do that to get this. So I feel like yes, it's a huge responsibility when you make yourself this known or this global, but it all depends on how you feel about it.
How important do you feel it is to have a team of people who support you in what you do?
It is very important. It's very important because it's very important to have an honest team because I've been with a team where I felt like they was behind me, but they really wasn't, or I thought I was doing my best, but I really wasn't. They were still saying, "Yeah, you're doing good. You're doing this, that, and that." Now I have people behind me where if I'm slacking, they'll be like, "Nah, bro, that video not it, bro. That video wasn't like this one, or that video wasn't like that one." Like they'll still be like, "Yo, you still good, you still nice, but I know you can go 10 times harder than that." They're honest. So even though they be brutally honest to you at that, it's
Yeah.
just like I accept it. So it's very important to have a team behind you. You feel me? It's strength in numbers. It's definitely strength in numbers. And
Right.
A lot of people like now like to say they're self-made. Oh, I did this on my own. I did that on my own. I did this. I did that. And I be telling people like, yeah, I probably played the drum by myself, but I'm not the person that made this drum from scratch. I'm not the person that made these sticks. So at the end of the day, I'm not self-made because I'm still using items and things that other people made. So it's like it's very important to have people behind you. It's very important.
We make one another.
Right. Yep.
You know, let's start that challenge right here on America's Next Motivator. Make one another challenge. Make one another challenge. That's what we do. We make one another. When we watch your videos by the thousands and we hit the heart button and we drop a comment or we share the video, we are contributing to your rise. And you absolutely deserve this rise. You were humble, you were expressive, you were diligent, and now it's your time, But we are partners in this. I want you to know that. Anytime you have a video or something like that you want to show to even more people, feel free to drop it off here on America's Next Motivator, and I'll play it during my breaks because we're definitely partners in this thing, man. Definitely supporters. Now, who are some of the drummers out there that you like and appreciate? Who do you look up to out there in the music world in terms of the drum or the performance?
Of course, Bios, BYOS, Ralph Nader, and Harvey Hard.
Yep.
Um, I feel like the best drummer out there to this day right now is SDJ Malik. If y'all don't know who that is, I want y'all to go look this dude up. He's phenomenal, like insane.
What's his name?
SDJ Malik.
SD.
Yes, J.
SDJ Malik.
Yes, sir. And he goes nuts. Like he be doing some things. Like, I just be like, how? Like how? And people be asking me like, bro, can you do this yet? And I'd be like, nah, not yet. This guy's the GOAT. Like this guy's the truth. Like
right.
I'm working on trying to do certain things that he did, but he's definitely like one of the best. He's definitely not one of the best, is the best to me. And honestly in the drum game. So those three right there, they my favorite drummers. Shout out to A1 Chop Sleep, that's my former partner. And shout out to Just Him and also Jay. They're drummers that I usually collab with. They're from Baltimore City. We're all doing the same thing as well. And shout out to all other drummers that's rocking and doing their thing too.
That's right. Now talk to me. Let's talk a little bit about legacy. What is the legacy that you want to leave here on Earth?
The legacy I want to leave basically is that when you follow your dreams, anything is possible. Once you imagine it, you can create it. If you can imagine it, you can create it. And the reason I say that is because the imagination is, to me, the key to the universe. Yes, I understand that. I'm a Christian and everything. I understand that God created everything. But I think God took his time when he made our brains to imagine. Because if you think about it, you can't imagine a new color. So we can't create a new color. You can imagine a new name for a color, but if you imagine that color is already a color, I bet you already seen that color. You can imagine a new color. So that's off limits. But anything else you can imagine, you can create. That's how we're able to create so many things. How you think somebody was able to create an airplane? They probably looked at a bird and imagined a human flying. It was like, how can we do that? Okay, let's create an airplane now. Same way with drums. Or they's probably beating on rocks back then. Oh, these rocks hurt my hand. We need something that's more solid and something that we can hit it with. Okay, we know we got sticks right here. Let's try hitting a stick and see what type of sound it makes on a rock. Boom, man, we have a rock drum. So it's like, I just want to just leave a legacy of basically you can be anything that you put your mind to. Anything. And the world is yours. It's yours.
Culture does not move without the beat of the drum. And you are moving culture today. You are continuing the legacy of our people. You are continuing the pulse, the metronome of humanity. And I would like to encourage you to keep doing it. You are influencing people in ways that you do not even know right now. I have watched Drumline myself and sat next to my mom feeling like the way he's playing these drums is elevating my entire existence right now. And I feel that that's what you're doing. That's what you're doing for young people, grown folks, and your peers. People are listening to you play that drum. and you are elevating other people's existence. And so that is phenomenal. Now, I got 3 questions for you as we round third base here. And it's been a great, great, great night speaking to you. The first question is, what is survival to you?
Survival is just being able to dodge the negatives and just being able to avoid peer pressure and just staying solid and staying true to yourself, staying 10 toes down and just always doing the right thing and living to make it to see tomorrow. Because a lot of people just don't make it to see tomorrow, and you got to be grateful for being able just to wake up and be here. That you're not in jail, that you're not 6 feet underground, that you're not in some place where your freedom is gone. So
That's right.
honestly, it's just pretty much that.
That's right. We're down to the final 15 seconds of the show. What is success to you?
Success. Success is my own understanding. And what I mean by that is truly anybody understanding too. My success
Yeah.
would be something like, hey, I want to be able to travel the world and play music and everybody know my name just like how they know Michael Jackson. Another person's success could be them just having a car. They just wanted a car their whole life.
Yep.
So success is your understanding of what you make it.
Last 10 seconds. What is greatness to you?
Greatness. Greatness is being the best person that you can be.
Timothy Fletcher, I want to let you know that I've enjoyed listening to your story today. Your gift on playing the drums is unlike any I've seen in my own lifetime in person. I'm giving you your respect today. Ladies and gentlemen, get your crown emojis ready. I'm giving you your respect today while you're here with us today. And I'm giving you your crown today while you're still alive to receive it. Ladies and gentlemen, put the crown emojis into the chat. Ladies and gentlemen, put the crown emojis into the chat. We are letting you know, letting the world know that you, Timothy Fletcher, you are America's next motivator. All right?
America's next motivator.
Yes, sir. Thanks for stopping by tonight, all right?
Thank you for having me.
All right. I'll talk to you soon. Peace. Ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. Each and every episode of America's Next Motivator is going to have something here for you. All you got to do is stop by and pick it up.